We're about to go qualifying now and determine our Armour All pole sitter for race number 26 of the championship in a sequence of 31 races in this year's championship series. That'll conclude the Repco Bathurst 1000 BP Ultimate pit lane now open. You can see on the Seiko Tower there that we're good to go. Now, this is a three-part elimination qualifying process. 24 cars in the field this weekend. Last weekend we had a couple of wild cards, so it's a dual focus, keeping an eye on what's going on at the front as always for peak speed. And at the end of the 10-minute session that we're just commencing, we'll drop the bottom 4 cars from that, and that will leave 20 cars, and then out they go for another 10 minutes. Having had a 5-minute break, we'll drop 10 cars out of that group, 5-minute break, and then we've got the 10 remaining cars, and they'll duke it out for the Armour All pole. What's this time looks like?
Pretty good.
Gone up into position 6, so that's done. 29 is fine. That gets you to the next position.
So where is the threshold? I reckon a 30.5 is probably it.
Oh, look at Mozzie's time, 29.3. That's a big smarten up of speed.
Great
and
job.
Bryce Forward gets in there as well with a 9.6.
Well done.
It is well done. So he picks up where he left off on Sunday night, Chaz Mostert, with good solid speed. So bottom 4 becomes the focus. Jacobson, Smith, Jake Kostecki, Luke Youlden.
Yeah, so Youlden 22nd, and that time, so that's a 30.5. So right on the cusp is Jacobson with a 30.3.
So there's only about half a dozen cars to complete their lap. Heimgartner is about to make his run down the front chute. We'll see whether car 7 just leaps up anywhere. He's 17th at the moment, but he's safely in the group. He did move up into 9th position. And this car on screen, number 35, Zane Goddard. We're not sure of his whereabouts for 2022. Nice job. Young Zane's just jumped up into 9th position in the field. So the bottom 4 now are Jake Kostecki, Gary Jacobson, Luke Youlden, Jack Smith. Fabian's right on the bubble, and so's Tim Slade.
And that number is a 30.2 now. So we were talking maybe a 30.5. It's a 30.26. Jacobson comes up with a 29.9. That number now, right on the cusp, is Slade at a 30.1. So Coulthard, Kostecki, as in Jake, Luke Youlden and Jack Smith. That's the current 4 cars. So Jacobson was able to improve and get himself into the 29s.
Confirmation of what we've seen in the first 2 practice sessions and the first chunk of Armour All qualifying. Ludo giving instructions in the background. This should bowl in at the top. It is an 8.9. Nice job. First time we've seen an 8 this weekend. 1 minute 28.94 for Anton De Pasquale. Will Davison and Will Brown are in the pit lane. Jamie Whincup is out there on 9.2. Van Gisbergen just jumped up, Mark, into 5th position. Brodie Kostecki leapt to 3rd on that lap as he crossed the line.
So, at 10, he's forward on a 29.4. Mostert now has come up. LeBrock is now 10th with a 29.47. Who else to finish their lap, Croppo?
There's quite a lot out there when you look at the timing tracker that we've got. And here's car number 8. And this is Nick Percat. He's down in 18th at the moment. He needs to smarten it up and jump into this next group, and he does. But he's down the bottom of the 10. So he's still a bit vulnerable given the number of cars that are still crossing the line. So De Pasquale, Davison, Kostecki, Brown, Whincup, Van Gisbergen, Waters, Percat, Mostert and Hazelwood. And what does that number look like? It's a 38.3. Wow. So he is on target for another Armour All pole. Will Brown. He's watching in the bottom right-hand corner of screen with his engineer, Tom Moore. Up in the other corner, we're looking at the Shell V-Power Racing Team technical group. Ludo Lacroix looking at the data. He'll already have an indication as to what this is going to pan out like. So does he go to the top? Will Davison on a 29 flat and an 8.6 by Anton De Pasquale is a big number in these conditions.
That is a unbelievable lap. Almost 0.4 of a second. Whincup now goes to 2nd, but 0.34 of a second away. Van Gisbergen goes up. So they line up alongside each other, Davison and Van Gisbergen, if it stays as it is. De Pasquale, Whincup, Davison, Van Gisbergen, Brown, Kostecki, Waters, Percat, Hazelwood, there to finish their lap. Mostert, what's that going to do for Mostert? He might come up a little bit on that one.
30 seconds.
Percat won't change very much. He's going to be in around Waters in 6th or 7th. Let's work this out for you. Closing down now. Mostert comes up to 6th. So nice job. Ryan Walkinshaw looking on. So Will Brown stayed in 5th at this point, and they've all finished off those laps now. So Mostert is able to get himself up onto the 3rd row. Brody Kostecki and Percat 7th and 8th. Cam Waters and Todd Hazelwood will line up in 9th and 10th. So De Pasquale with 0.34 over Whincup. We were just salivating that the gap might have only been 1 or 2 tenths of a second, but another dominant display by Anton De Pasquale.
He moved the market.
Yep.
So, you know, he's gone another chunk again. He did a 28.9 in that previous segment of qualifying portion 2. He's just done a 28.6. So when you pull a 1/3 of a second out of your lap speed around here, that'll raise eyebrows. So that is a beautiful lap. Well driven by Anton De Pasquale, well engineered by that team. It moves his career pole tally onto 9. It moves his Sydney Motorsport park tally onto 5. And what a great performance for him. So Anton De Pasquale is going to start from the pole position tonight with Jamie Whincup on the outside of him as they head into turn 1. Row 2 is juicy. Will Davison on the inside, position 3. Shane Van Gisbergen on the outside of him. Will Brown, Chaz Mostert next. And what will be interesting is whether Will Brown and Shane Van Gisbergen reverse what happened last week as they enter turn number 1. That'll be worth watching. Should be fun. So lots of interesting stories to tell in all this one. These are the drivers that didn't progress through portion 2 of qualifying, and the 3-part qualifying now resolved in favour of the Shell V-Power racing team. Coulthard, Kostecki, Youlden and Smith. Luke was pretty hard on himself there before when he was describing his lap.